He'd been a young student in Hull, coming to the city to learn English and going on to marry a local girl. But when war broke out, Georges Béguet became a secret agent, and he devised a plan which proved vital to the D-Day landings 70 years ago. Joe Makel has this.
Ici, Londres. Veuillez écouter tout d'abord quelques messages personnels.
Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne bercent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
A French poem broadcast on the BBC. For many listening, it would have been merely entertainment. But for those in the French resistance, it was vital. Its words signalled the start of the D-Day invasion.
The idea of using the BBC to broadcast messages to secret agents in occupied France came from a man who studied here at the University of Hull. And his family say the skills he learnt in this city influenced his career as he became one of the most significant special operatives of World War II.
Georges Béguet was a student here in 1934. He learnt English and met his future wife, a Cottingham girl, Rose Carrick.
When the war broke out in 1939, he was called up and he was involved in liaison with the British because his English was so good.
He served with the French until, after escaping at Dunkirk, he joined the British Army.
He was recruited to what was called the Special Operations Executive, which was a new clandestine British organisation whose role, Churchill said, was to set Europe ablaze. All the men and women who joined it did not know what they were part of. In fact, it had been stuck together from bits of MI5 and bits of MI6, and a lot of new soldiers who were involved in creating this new form of warfare.
Béguet was the first of the SOE to be parachuted into France. His role as a radio operator was both dangerous and frustrating. He
was struck by the incredible slowness of getting messages from France to London and then getting a reply from them. He'd come up with this idea of using the BBC. He had a special programme in the evening called Les Français parlent aux Français, the French speak to the French. And what Béguet realised was that they could use the BBC to actually communicate with secret agents in the field.
Le but des Allemands.
Pre-agreed coded messages were mixed with fake ones to confuse the Germans, who were also listening in. And as the Allies prepared for D-Day, the number of messages intensified.
And then on the evening of the 5th of June, there were messages read out which indicated that the landings would take place the next day. Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne
Bercent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
And the French resistance had to prepare to support the Allied troops and to try and disrupt the German movement in response to D-Day.
From a young man studying in Hull, Georges Béguet grew into an agent worthy of the Military Cross, and his idea proved vital to the success of the D-Day landings.
And the time is 5 minutes to 7. Let's have a recap of the main